Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's edition of the Jersey Baseball Show. We have a special guest here. We've got one of the state's best left-handed pitchers. We've got one of the state's best 2023 pitchers, junior year. Justin Herbstman, Old Bridge High School, has already made the verbal commitment to play in the ACC with Virginia Tech, one of those kind of up-and-coming monster programs that we think are ready to just kind of blow up and have a huge year. I know that was almost the case last year, but Virginia Tech baseball certainly on the rise. And welcome, Justin, and I'm sure you are very excited about that.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
100%. Let's talk Virginia. Let's talk some Hokies baseball. Everybody's recruitment's a little bit different at this point. Just because it is naturally, but also you throw in the COVID variable. So I'd like to start with all these by asking, how your recruitment story went. How did Virginia Tech, how did you first, catch their attention? How did they first catch your attention? Why you're excited and why you were, you're so amped up to make that your choice for 4 years starting in fall of 2023.
So it's actually a crazy story. So I went to a PBR showcase. It was probably early July. So I signed up. I went there. I was supposed to pitch at like 6 o'clock, but it ended up like running late. So I ended up pitching at like 12 o'clock in the morning. And then by the time I got off the mound,
late. Geez, how did that run 6 hours late?
I don't know. I think they messed up the timing, like too many players, so it was crazy. Yeah. And then by the time I got off the mound, TJ Hunt, he runs PBR New Jersey. He told me that Virginia Tech wants to talk to me at 12 o'clock the next morning. So I went to sleep, I woke up, and then I had like 5 or 6 calls that next day. So my whole life changed. And then up until like September when I committed, I had like 3 to 4 calls a day. It was like very overwhelming, but it was fun. I miss it. So when I spoke to the coaches at Virginia Tech, they made it feel like home. And then when I visited there, everything was great. I loved it there. It was between 2 schools, so Virginia Tech was the one I picked.
Yeah. What was the other one?
It was Duke. I visited them on the same weekend.
I say you made the right choice.
Yeah, I like the choice too.
I think you. If you would have said Duke, I would have said I think you made the right choice too. Because when you're picking, that's like cream of the crop there either way, right? You're not going wrong no matter what you picked.
Yeah.
But that's that in itself is like just a crazy process, right? That was still sort of like hard to process, I guess, for you at that point, or just it's kind of overwhelming, right? That like all these coaches in such a short period of time from all these great programs wanted to connect with you.
Yeah, I had no clue that from going to this showcase that I would have like all this attention, especially when I threw at 12 o'clock at night. So it just hit me out of nowhere.
So we learned that coaches are up at all hours, first of all, right? That's the first thing we learned. Second thing we learned is we never know who's watching, so we're always going out and doing whatever we can, right? You still got some room to fill out a little bit, right? That's one of the things that seems like the word projectable should be part of your name when we're reading these scouting reports. It's now like the projectable Justin Herbstman. How do we want to? You've got almost 2 years before you're at college. What's your plan to do that? How are we going to go about getting to that college body?
So as of right now, I'm working with Joe Augustine. He's helping me with like strength and conditioning. So I'm just trying to put on weight. It's lifting and eating. if I'm not doing one, then it's not going to work. So it's like a combination of both for me to put on the weight. I would say the eating part is the harder part for me because I'm lifting good, but the eating part it's hard to eat every 3 hours. So,
See,
but
for me, I think the eating part I'd be okay at. I think the lifting part might be so we could work this together here as like a team. You do the lifting, I'll do the eating. We'll be fine. What are you up to now, weight-wise?
Right now I'm like 173, 174, but by the start of the season, I'm gonna try to get up to like 185, 190.
So you're talking about a pound a week pretty much, right? That's kind of what the goals are. And that's right. If you look at it that way, it seems a lot more doable than, 12 to 15 pounds, right? That seems like a lot.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I'm sure Joe's talked to you about obviously consistent habits being the most important thing, right?
Yeah, he tells me to set my alarm every 3 hours just to eat something. I mean, just put something in
Including
my
the middle of the night, or does he let you sleep?
he lets me sleep.
All right, because that might not that part I don't think I'd be up for. I don't think I'd be up for the 3 in the morning and Um, so you were travel wise, you played with the Sportica program
Yeah, Sportica Baseball Academy.
and still do?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the best place or the most fun you've played with them? The most fun place you've gone to?
Um, we've been to a lot of cool places. Cooperstown was a good one. Let Last year we went to Georgia, which was fun. So most of the other players have like a core of the guys, 5, 6 guys, have played for the coach, Coach Nick Frank. So I played for him since I was 7 years old, and like those core guys have like stuck together, and new guys have joined. So he's always preached like family, and that's what we've created. So I
Yeah, I
mean,
was gonna say you've kind of made your own through the years, right? I mean that's
yeah,
um got to imagine you're a big baseball fan, I would think, right? I mean, you watch it, college, pro, whatever. So I'm sure
yeah.
you spent plenty of time watching big time college baseball. The ACC programs, Virginia is certainly a national power. You go right down the list that they all have been at some point. Has it really hit you yet that, hey, in 2+ years, that's me?
Um, I mean, yeah. So I went to a game mid-October when Virginia Tech scrimmaged Radford, and it's just crazy. It's crazy to see like how strong these guys are, and they're only like 2 to 4 years older than me. So it's just crazy to imagine that I'm going to be there in 2 years.
Yeah, that's right. And if you had any doubts about how important it would be to fill out, I guess you don't have those doubts anymore either.
No, no.
Um, Tell us about Old Bridge baseball, right? I mean, you've got a nice solid pitching staff this year. Probably, if someone from the outside is going to look in, and I'm sure you'll tell me different, but at first glance, it looks like the pitching is probably the stronger part of the team, but I would imagine that's just something that by the end of the year could be different. So shout out whoever you want here from school. Let's talk about Old Bridge a little bit. And as much as you want to get off to college, we still got 2 years of high school, and we're going to make them good, right?
Yep. So our pitching staff is really good. We always know that like whoever's on the mound, we know that the people behind us are going to make the plays. So just that confidence just allows us to like throw our pitches and have trust in our defense. So that plays a big part in our success. I think as long as we hit or do our job, I think we'll be very successful this year. So we should be good. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
No, this is we get 2 years of good stuff ahead, hopefully. When did you realize that baseball was your thing?
So my dad introduced me to baseball when I was 4 years old, and ever since then, I haven't stopped playing. I played on my brother's team, who's 3 years ahead of me. Um, so I've always looked up to my dad when it comes to baseball. He's taught me everything. He always says, whether you're 0 for 4 or 4 for 4, no one should ever know when they walk over to the field. You should always have an even tone. So always have a good attitude, hustle on and off the field. So he's brought me to where I am today.
So you always played up then, just because your parents didn't want to ride you both to different places, I guess, right? But that's pretty much, so you've always kind of, now, do you think that, because I've asked this to guys with older brothers who played in the past, that make you better, that make you a little bit tougher and know that, you had to be, you were playing with the big boys?
Yeah, I think it's taught me to compete and to like battle through adversity. That plays a big part, like when I'm on the mound and stuff. So I think just battling through adversity, knowing that you're gonna have to, you're gonna fail sometimes, but you gotta know how to battle through it.
You mentioned something interesting there to me, battling through adversity. Pitchers don't have, it's I always thought it was easy to pitch on days where you had your best stuff, right? You throw the ball wherever you want, and you know that they're not going to hit it no matter what. But how do you, in your mind, how do you battle through it on days where, either you're missing on your pitches, you got to adapt a little bit, something's not working, maybe the defense is struggling a little bit. What's your mindset that allows you to get through it so well?
I mean, usually I just take a step off the mound, maybe think of what I'm doing wrong, thinking of how I can help my team, maybe try and get a double play ball, give the field some confidence. So, I mean, just going to what's working at the time. If it's my fastball, sticking with that, trying to hit a spot, trying to get my team out of the jam. So I think just doing that really helps.
Favorite moment on the field ever?
Uh, that's a tough question.
It doesn't have to be your favorite. What's the first favorite one that you think of? We'll make the disclaimer that it may not be the only one, or if Justin forgets somebody, it's not his fault. It's my fault for surprising him.
Um, I would say it goes back to Cooperstown. I think it was a 2-1 game in like the fifth inning, bottom of the fifth. Like my teammate walked, and then you were allowed to like skip the last two guys in the order. So we did that, and I was the leadoff guy, and I hit a home run to take the lead. So just that, like the stands were going crazy. My cousin went the same week, so my aunt and uncle were there, so it was just a really good moment.
So when you say Cooperstown, I'm assuming you're talking about that Little League complex that they've got up there, right?
Yep, Cooperstown James Park.
One of those crazy, like 100-some team tournaments from all over the country. And it's funny, you're not the first person who's mentioned that as being like an awesome experience. What was it about that you and probably everybody else like remembers as being so great?
I would say the barracks, just bonding with my teammates, just going out, trading pins, just being with them the whole time is it's just amazing. Creating all memories. It was just so fun.
That's the best part of baseball, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely. Game days. What do you like on bump days? Are you one of those guys who doesn't want to talk to anybody, or you don't really worry about that sort of thing?
I'll talk a little bit. I mean, I'm mostly just trying to get in my zone, just do my own thing, but I'll cheer on my teammates, come out when a run scored, and I'll be out there.
So like game day, if it's a 4 o'clock game, they can talk to you till maybe lunchtime and then get away from you.
Yeah, seems about right.
Right, mornings. Get Justin in the mornings, everybody, if you want to talk to him on game day. You a music guy, pregame, to get yourself focused, or do you not want any of that outside noise?
No, I don't listen to music. I just try and focus on myself, picturing like what pitch I'm going to throw, how I can throw it efficiently. So just that.
So do you do any like visualization or anything like that?
I'll do some dry drills on the line, just work through my mechanics, make sure everything's right. Just trying to visualize succeeding and maybe even like working through some jams. So
what's one part of your game day routine that you got to do no matter what?
Um, Probably have a Powerade in the bullpen. I mean, that's my go-to drink, so I usually have 2 to 3 while I'm pitching.
So you're a Powerade guy, not a Gatorade guy.
Yeah, but I'll still have Gatorade, but Powerade's the drink.
How did that happen? Because like that seems like a little. I don't know. I didn't know people actually still drank Powerade.
I just think ever since I was little, I always used to go to like those vending machines, and they always had those little Powerades, so I always used to get them.
You just because out of habit, now you're hooked on them. So
Yeah.
so now Powerade, if Powerade's watching this, and when you get to college and they need sponsors with NIL rights, they should come to you and you'd be a Powerade, right? Okay. Hopefully we just hooked you up with some money down the road. Toughest place to play.
I wouldn't say there's really a tough place. I would say there's more like tough moments. Whether it's my teammate made an error, trying to pick them up. I mean,
Mhm.
just knowing that I'll always have their back, even if I don't come through. It's just wait for the next time.
Yep. Yep. Be a good teammate. It's most important, right?
Yeah.
Um, Favorite subject in school?
Um, Probably science. I like doing some of the labs and stuff, so it's always fun.
What's one quote or piece of advice, right? Because some people aren't good at remembering quotes, they just kind of remember general advice. But what's one quote or piece of advice that you got along the way that really sticks with you?
Um, I would just say uh, hustle on and off the field. I mean, that's just a big part of my game. Like even if you're not having a good day, you could always hustle, respect the game, and just give it all you got, even if the day's not going your way.
I guess that also comes back to you never know who's watching you, even if it's at midnight, right?
Yeah.
So that's that's see where it's important things we got here. Um, Speaking of important things, we're gonna stump you again, I think, but we'll see how you do here. If everyday activities were Olympic sports, what would you be getting a gold medal in?
I would say school. I'm very good in school. I try my best to study. So uh, even if there's like a hard test, I'm giving it my all. So
You
I
one of
feel
those
like,
you one of those curve busters. You got a high GPA, don't you?
yeah, I got a pretty high GPA.
Um, where are you most looking forward to playing in the ACC, other than Virginia Tech, obviously?
Um, Probably either Wake Forest or Duke, because I know Wake Forest has a very small field. So just being able to keep the ball down and pitch on that field is going to be a challenge, but I'm willing to
You
step
like
up.
you like challenges. I thought
Yep.
you were going to say when you started going in a small field, I thought you were going to say you were going to beg coach to get in that bat. Do we know better than that?
Yeah. I'm not too much of a hitter, but that's okay.
So you're one of the few pitchers who realizes that you're not much of a hitter, because I think most of them think they still are.
I mean, for high school, I'll be a hitter, but college, no, I'm not. I'm not that good.
Nothing appeals to you as seeing mid-90s every game. No, that doesn't appeal to you and trying to hit it. Favorite game day food?
Um, I'll probably say a butter roll. Just keep it light, something to fill me up for the game. Just easy.
If you think that fills you up, now I see why it's tough eating every 3 hours.
Yeah, it's challenging.
That's all right. You're gonna get there. I know that. You're already pushing 90, right? On velo wise, or are you hitting it, getting in the low 90s now?
I topped 90 this year, so I'm hoping to get to like the mid 90s and sit high 80s, low 90s this year.
Yeah, and I guess that's probably weight wise and size wise. It's not even just peak. It's just being able to maintain that throughout the game at a high level, right?
Yeah, just learning how my body works, trying to put everything together and make it work.
What have you learned from baseball about yourself?
I've learned that I can not only become a better player, but a better person. I mean, it's taught me a lot of lessons throughout life that will stick with me forever. So just knowing that even when you lose, you have to battle back. There's always another game. So just hearing that just keeps driving me to do better.
Definitely. Pretty sure in a couple of years, everybody in Blacksburg is going to like you quite a bit. But before then, we're going to be spoiled up here in New Jersey and get to watch you throw regularly through the high school season. We appreciate it, Justin. Thank you for coming on. Best of luck at Old Bridge this year, and your journey. And like I said, if you ever need anybody to help you put down a couple stakes or something like that, I'm your guy.
Thank you. Thank you for
Uh,
having me. This was great.
Absolutely, our pleasure. It's Justin Herbstman. He is star pitcher at Old Bridge High School. He is verbally committed to Virginia Tech starting in the fall of 2023. One of the top left-handed pitchers in New Jersey. He's our guest today on this edition of Generation X 2.0, and we look forward to seeing you next time.